Let's talk about rounding decimals. The most important thing about rounding decimals is understanding the names of each of the decimal places that you see here. It's saying round to the nearest hundredth on this problem, so we have to know what position that is. So for this, look at the decimals. The 1 right here, that represents the tenths position. The 5, that represents the hundredths position. The 8 represents the thousandths. So now we know what those mean. We understand now what number it is they want us to round to. We want us to do the hundredth position. I'm going to write out this decimal, and it says round to the nearest hundredth. I'm going to put a bar right after the position it wants us to round to. It wants us to round to the hundredth position. So I'm going to put a bar after the 5. So that bar right there, that would represent up to the bar, represent the hundredths position. Now, if the number to the right of the bar is a 5 or above, you want to round up, which means that happens in this case. I'm going to do 1470.16. So if it's a 5 or above, you're going to round up, and that's 0.16. So what happens if it's not 5 or above? Well, let's look at that one down below here. This one says we want to round that to the nearest thousandth position. The thousandth position is the third decimal that you see. So after the third decimal, I'm going to draw a line here, a bar, okay? And I want to look at the number that is to the right of the bar. We notice this time that it is a 4, okay? At this point here, you're not going to round up. What you're going to do is you're just going to drop that decimal off of there, and you're going to leave it as a 6. So the only time we ever add a number to that is if the number afterwards is a 5 or above, we're going to round up. Otherwise, if it's not, we're going to just drop that decimal and leave it the same as it is. So with that, let's do this one more example with this. Okay, we want to round this number to the nearest tenth. Okay, well, 546.32. The tenth is the first position. We'll draw a bar right there. We want to round it to the nearest tenth, which means that you look at the number to the right of the number in the tenth position. It's not 5 or above, which means that you're going to just drop off the 2, and your answer would be 546.3. This next one is got to be rounded to the nearest hundredth. So 46.735. Okay, hundredth would be the second decimal position. Just draw a bar there between the 3 and the 5. Since there is a 5 immediately after the 3, this is a case where you are going to round up. 46.74 is what that's going to round up to. So we drop the 5, but we round this up. So again, if the number after the bar is 5 or above, you're going to round up. If it's not 5 or above, then we just drop that number off and leave it. And that's how we would do rounding.